Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Baseball Roundtable on this Monday night. The 13th of September, I have my hat on. I bet Eddie Heckman doesn't like cigars. Is that true, Eddie? I'll tell you what. Ulysses S. Grant. Have you ever heard the name?
Yes.
Ulysses S. Grant smoked an average of 20 cigars a day, and shockingly, he died of throat cancer. So I don't smoke 20 cigars a day. Just one? Normally. And you should try one, Andy. You ever tried one?
Of course, I do. I've smoked cigars playing golf because they're easy to keep lit. And I've smoked them on occasion, but not on a regular basis.
No. Have you ever tried a Perdomo?
I don't think so.
They're about $15 a clip.
Do you have one with you?
No, I don't smoke in the house. My wife, Billy Kay, and I only smoke out in the man cave.
In the man cave, that's where you should set up your show so you guys can have shots and smoke.
You know why I don't do it in the man cave? The wireless, the broadband is very weak out there.
Oh.
I have what's called a range extender, Andrea.
I have one too.
And it's not worth a shit. I mean, half the time it keeps dropping off, so I think I need a better range extender.
So they have this other thing that you can use where you actually plug it's a plug into the normal outlet in the wall, but it has an Ethernet cable that goes into it. And that actually, by plugging it into the wall, it hooks up to the wireless, and then you use the Ethernet cord into your computer. So it works better than the range extender from what I've seen.
Okay, I need to check that out.
Okay.
Well, not only that, Mitch, the communications community has pretty much acknowledged in studies that the older you get, the less likely the range extenders are to work efficiently.
Yeah, we're always dealing with this elderly thing. Eddie, can we hear you? Can you say something?
I don't think Eddie's getting our sound.
Yeah, why isn't he? I wonder. Eddie, can you hear us?
Hey, are you there?
Let me send him a chat.
Yeah.
Okay. Mitch, go ahead. Launch the show, Mitch. Please.
I already did.
I don't think Eddie's hearing us.
Right. How do I tell him? I'll tell him in chat room. I don't know how to tell him.
He needs to open up his microphone.
Or unmute it.
Speakers.
Unmute his microphone.
No, his microphone.
To say something, I have a trivia question for you. Okay.
His microphone works, but his speakers are not. He doesn't have his sound on for some reason. Let me tell him.
All right.
I don't know how to tell him though. Where am I going to tell him?
Can you take it? Can you call him on his phone?
Put up a sign. I'll put up a sign and tell him to turn his speakers up. So you guys can go ahead and keep talking.
All right, let's launch into this. Okay, so now we're here. Today is September the 13th. We have, according to my deep investigation, what do we have? 17 days left in the season? A little more than 2 weeks?
It's a little better than 2 weeks.
So I want to talk about we don't need to spend a lot of energy on division leaders because we know Tampa is in. We know the White Sox are in. We know
Milwaukee. Milwaukee.
We know that. No, let me finish American League. We know that Houston is in. We know that Atlanta is in, and Milwaukee. So the only division race left is Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants. So let's talk about that. What's your prediction, Merrell, on with what what did I say? 17 days left.
Yes.
Who wins the National League West?
I don't think the
Where's
Dodgers.
Eddie? He's
Huh?
gone. I guess he's
I
gone.
don't think the Dodgers
Well,
can.
Eddie needs to come back.
I know. Well, I made a sign for him.
I
Okay.
don't think the Dodgers can catch the Giants because they won something like 22 of the last 28 games, and they picked up the grand total of a half game on the Giants. The Giants seem to be unbeatable. The oddity is, in my opinion, the Dodgers, because of the far superior starting rotation, particularly if Kershaw shows up effective tonight, meaning that he can pitch, and you can bring Kershaw, Urias, Buehler, and I'm missing somebody who's the other starting pitcher. Urias, Buehler,
Kershaw, Scherzer.
Oh, I left out this
Urias.
minor. I left out this minor pitcher named Max Scherzer. The problem the Giants are going to have, whether they win the division or not, is that they get into a 5 or 7 game series with the Dodgers. Even though the Dodgers have not been hitting, where that went, I do not know. But if you're going into a 5 or 7 game series with the Dodgers, your starters can, in my opinion, cannot stand up against the 4 starters. The Dodgers may only use 3 and use. Let's not forget how they used Urias in the 2020 World Series. They used him as a closer, and he shut down Tampa Bay twice. So the answer to your question is I don't think they catch the Giants for the division because I don't see the Giants even losing sufficient games in a week for the Dodgers to close that gap.
Okay, but here's my answer to you. The Dodgers, if they do not win the division, can get eliminated in a 1-game play-in.
They're going to be first among equals among the wild cards in the National League, and it's only the second among equals, meaning the last among equals, which is why the Milwaukee Brewers had to fall out of the postseason in a single game against the Washington Nationals in 2019. The Dodgers, I do not believe, are going to be put in a position of having to play a single game qualification. You only have 2 wild card teams. One is going to have the better arrangement for the postseason, the one with the better record, and the Dodger record is something like 12 or 14 games better than Milwaukee's.
But here's the deal. Help me on this, bro. If the Dodgers finish second, don't they play the Brewers instead of Cincinnati or San Diego?
I'm not making a judgment.
No, I'm just asking.
Let me help you with this. I'm not making a judgment about the quality of the competition and whatever postseason environment they go into, but I'm saying they will not be stuck in that play-in game. So if they go to a 5-game National League Division Series with Milwaukee will give them everything they've got. But they will still have that starting rotation, which, by the way, Milwaukee is the one competitor in the league when you look at their 3 starters. Those 3 starters, including Corbin Burns, those 3 starters can stand up against the Dodger starters. That would be quite an interesting World Series. And Hader can stand up.
You mean playoff?
Playoffs. And Hader can stand with Jansen in the closing competition. That would be an incredible series.
But my question is this.
And Milwaukee would have the home field advantage in that presumptive 5-game series because they are going to be the division winner.
Wait a minute. Forget 5 games. If LA finishes in second place, 1 game behind the San Francisco Giants, they will play the Brewers in Milwaukee facing Woodruff.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Well,
it's going to, no, I said Milwaukee as a division winner will have home field advantage.
1 game.
I don't think so.
You know, it's the wild card. Or you're saying two wild cards play each other?
Yes.
So you're saying that I'm confused.
So wait a minute. Well, no, two wild cards do not play each other. The
Then
wild
who
card.
does San Diego or Cincinnati play? They play the Atlanta Braves. The team that finishes either now. Actually, I have answered this myself. The Dodgers will have a better record by far than San Diego or Cincinnati. So their seeding should be Cincinnati or San Diego, and the game would be in Dodger Stadium. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think the Dodgers. I don't think the wild card team of top standing plays that single game. I think the single game, the team that is the last team into the playoffs, is asked to meet a National League rival in a single game, but it wouldn't be the other wild card team. I did some research on this today.
All right, so you're saying if San Diego, Eddie's back. Hello, Eddie.
Hello,
Yes, Eddie.
can you hear me?
How are you doing, bud?
This is frustrating for me sometimes.
That's okay. It's technology. Look, I can't find my ass with both hands when it comes to computers. I'm a dinosaur. You know what works for me, Eddie?
What's that?
A yellow legal pad and a number 2 pencil. That's where I'm at.
I got a legal pad.
There he is.
You know what, Eddie?
What's that?
I like my brother. I might be a fossil as well, but I maintain that I'm a facile fossil. So my studio host seems to have vanished from the set. I think Andy is still with us.
I'm
Welcome
here.
back. Welcome back. We're just Andy. We're crunching what the look of the playoffs might very well be.
Who plays who in the wild card, Andy?
Well, there's 2 wild cards, and the wild card plays the best team. I think the wild card has to play the best teams.
That's the single game, and that's the wild card team that is the last team to make it in, which is why Milwaukee ended up playing the Nationals in that single game, because the Nationals were division winners.
Well, I mean,
2 years ago.
that was a 1-game playoff to find out who got to go to the playoffs, right?
Right, but
that's the purpose of the single game.
The
second wild card team has a chance to play into the division series.
I gotcha.
Okay.
So who's going to play? Well, I don't know. Let me look at the standings here. I'm questioning whether or not Tampa Bay is definitely going to win the division in the East, right? Yeah.
I think unlike the teams we cited at the opening, I think that's about a 4 or 5 game lead. With the 17 games to go, I'm not sure. It's time to declare definitively that Tampa Bay has the division. You make a good point.
It looks like they're 11
division winners.
Okay,
are they 11 games ahead?
Lenny's schooling us right now. Hold on.
And then
all right. I've got the answer.
Oh.
Don't make the playoffs. Empty, right?
Go ahead, Mitchell.
The history of the MLB wildcard game, the Major League Baseball wildcard game, is a 1-game winner-take-all post-season event that was added to Major League Baseball in 2012. 2 wildcard teams from the American League and 2 wildcard teams from the National League play each other in a single game playoff at the end of the regular season. So I'm full of bull dinky and whatever poppycock, whatever Lenny says, they play each other. So you will have the Dodgers playing either San Diego or Cincinnati in LA.
Okay.
In LA, and I like the Dodgers' chances of beating either of these teams. What do you think, Ed?
Definitely.
In LA, you roll out Mad Max. And listen, you heard this here first. I don't care about Hall of Fame. Clayton Kershaw, the number one starter in the postseason for the Los Angeles Dodgers, is going to be Max Scherzer. And if it isn't, they're wrong. Okay? Other than that, I have no strong views. He has been absolutely unhittable since the minute he walked into the Dodger dugout. Unhittable.
Let me give you some statistics from the game he pitched last night or Sunday night. I think it was Sunday night. Kershaw has given up 1 earned run in his last 28 innings. Okay?
All right.
Other than that, he hasn't done well.
Kershaw is a Hall of Fame pitcher, but he is coming off the injured list. If I'm in charge of that team, I'm going to go with the surest fire thing I've got, and there's nobody in Major League Baseball. You can challenge me on this. There is nobody in Major League Baseball that's pitching any better as a starter right now than Max Scherzer. He's unhittable. He almost had a perfect game this last week.
I'll say this to you. They will be as deferential to Kershaw as they can be. But if the Dodgers face a 1-game playoff in which they can be knocked out of the postseason, Dave Roberts is not going to be able to start Kershaw over Scherzer.
He'll be wrong. He'll be wrong.
Well, yes.
He will be wrong. What do you think, Ed? Would
I
you
think
go with
Scherzer
Scherzer or Kershaw?
definitely start the game. He's by far the one I think is going to get him through the playoffs into the World Series and stuff.
Scherzer?
Scherzer.
Yeah, he's magnificent. He had been. I love Clayton Kershaw. I am not in any way denigrating Kershaw. Not in any way. I'm just telling you, Max Scherzer, what's his ERA since coming to the West Coast? I have the answer. The great Karnak has the answer in the sealed envelope. His ERA is about 1.06.
His earned run average.
Let that sink in. 1.06. That's more than Jacob deGrom.
I'll buttress your point. His earned run average with a 10-7 or 9-4 record when he came over from Washington was 2.69. It's now 2.17.
He's been unhittable. All right, so let's say right now the over-under, true or false, the Dodgers will win the West Division. True or false? Ed? What do you say, Ed?
True, they will.
I agree. What do you say, Merrill?
I already made my spiel. I think the Giants hang on.
Me too.
The Giants don't lose. The Giants don't lose. It's going to be another game. Kapler has done a marvelous job. He's done a Kevin Cash kind of management operation on the West Coast. He's done a wonderful job. He has wrung talent and production out of people like Darren Ruff, out of this kid who came out there from the University of Maryland. The right field part. Everybody shares his job with somebody else practically, except for Bryant and Posey Wade.
Lamont Wade Jr.
Right. But these players who currently constitute the team with the best record in baseball, which is not the Los Angeles Dodgers, do not have, though yes, the Giants went to the World Series in 2012, 2014, 2016, they don't have the playoff experience the Dodger players have. And sometimes that can be a defining difference. Not to mention the advantage the Dodgers have in the reliability, relatively speaking, of a starting rotation that is even Buehler, who's young, and Urias, who's relatively young, I think a little older than Buehler, pitched in the World Series last year and in the playoffs. They have more experience than the people on the current San Francisco roster.
All right, let's move on.
Question.
Yes.
Why is Merrill wearing an Orioles hat tonight?
In honor of you, Eddie.
Thank you.
In honor of you, not only that, you'll notice I have a matching jersey.
Listen,
We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you with us.
Ed Heckman.
Okay.
I have been to every Major League Baseball stadium currently in use in Major League Baseball, with the exception of the new Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas, which I will go to next year. I'll get in a plane because I want to keep my record intact. I have been. Camden Yards is in the top 3 stadia of the best baseball venues in America. The other 2 being San Francisco and, believe it or not, Ed, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That
I've been there.
have you been there? Did you like it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's
I'm
the
from
best.
Pennsylvania.
All right, Ed, the sight lines in PNC Park are awesome. You've got the Roberto Clemente Bridge. You've got the Monongahela River. It is, and the worst sight lines in baseball are at the new Yankee Stadium because they've got nothing but billboards with advertisements. I'm not against billboards or advertisements. I'm just telling you my opinion. The sight lines in Pittsburgh, but Baltimore, it's awesome. Look, I'm a Nats fan. Merrill's a Nats fan. That ballpark in the Nats is not as nice as Camden Yards. Where the Nats have it better is the Nats have a great entertainment venue right outside the ballpark. Not so much. You know where we go when we go to Baltimore? What's the name of that place? The Pickle? What's the name of that place we go to?
The name is Pickles Pub.
Yes, Pickles Pub.
Okay, so Merrill and I were
And you
standing out.
can't dilly around there.
Merrill and I were standing out at the Pickles Pub with my son one night, having a couple of beers after the game, and this man came up to us. I think he was a homeless person. And this guy came up to us. He never asked for money. He did ask for a cigarette. This guy, I think, Ed, was a retired baseball player. I swear to God I do. We got into a trivia contest, and we could not touch this guy. This guy blew us away with what he knew. You couldn't bring up a trivia question on baseball this guy didn't know the answer to. So we finally bought the guy a beer. We were. If you know the Pickle, you know that there's a bullpen right out there in front of the restaurant. That's where we're at. But the Pratt Street Ale House is nice. But what I'm saying is Baltimore's environment around the ballpark isn't as nice as Washington right now. But I digress. Okay, let's
Why
go
do you
back.
say that, though? I mean, I haven't been to Washington in a while. When I went to Washington Nats Park, I did not see much around there.
It's all different. It's all different now, Andrea.
They built
Half Street is all bars, right? When you come out of the stadium, it's bars and restaurants right then and there.
Oh,
right
how nice! I mean, it was a nice park, but
Andrea, have you ever been in the gas lamp quarter in San Diego?
no. But I think I've been there in New Orleans.
You got to do the gas lamp quarter. You come out of Petco Stadium and walk right into the biggest bar and restaurant district. You go out there and sit on a high top outside the bar and light a cigar and get a margarita and watch all the people go by.
So I went to the old stadium to see a concert, but I don't know.
Jack Murphy Stadium.
Yes.
Yeah,
Did they build a new ballpark, or did they just change the name?
Petco is downtown across the street from the convention center. And Petco is a beautiful park, and it's right in what's called the gas lamp quarter. And
Okay.
I was teaching at Camp Pendleton. The university flew me to California 9 times. 9 weekends I was at the Comfort Inn in the gas lamp quarter. I could look out my window in the Comfort Inn right into center field into Petco Park. And that is a beautiful, absolutely wonderful baseball facility. But I still say, Ed, Camden Yards, I don't think a lot of people realize how beautiful Camden Yards is. It's beautiful.
May I throw one other pitch? Equally as beautiful as Camden Yards, albeit much smarter, smaller, and much more constructed with a view to the low single A, what they call summer league, where the teams play in June and July and August, is the Ripken Stadium, which I'm sure you've been to, Eddie, in Aberdeen, Maryland, which is all brick. It's a nice little. It's the minor league, if you will, the minor league construct of Camden Yards, without all the frivolity and all of the Guns N' Roses, if you will. But it's a pretty stadium.
What's the over/under on Kevin Costner attending a game at Ripken Stadium recently?
Let's not go there tonight.
Hey, if you do make it to Baltimore next year, I have free tickets to the aquarium. I got 8 of them in the mail today.
Well, Mitch will really, Eddie, Mitch should go because he actually flip-flops more than a dolphin at SeaWorld.
Eddie, you know an urban legend. I'm going to get back onto the division.
Don't go.
Not pass on this.
No, you must.
Eddie's going to tell us if it's true.
No, you must not address this issue.
I'm going to address
this venue
because Eddie will know the answer.
I hope so.
You're permitted to ask Eddie if he knows any strange Cal Ripken stories, and if he doesn't, that's it.
Eddie, is it true that
Don't do it.
They deliberately declared a power outage
Don't do it.
At Camden Yards when Cal Ripken was in a cell based on a confrontation with an unnamed actor who he found with his wife, and they cut the power off to the stadium so that he would not lose his streak. True or false?
I have no idea. That was before I lived in Baltimore.
I have this from somebody who worked for the power company. Merrill and I were at a party in Pennsylvania with my cousin, Bill Savage, and his son-in-law was involved in the power company and told us that they claimed that they had a loss of power the night Cal Ripken was in a holding area because he assaulted some gentleman who, I won't tell you who he is, but think Field of Dreams, who was with his wife, and Cal Ripken took a piece of him out and ended up in a jail cell, and they cut the power off rather than see him lose. I'm just telling you. I'm not Trump. I'm not a conspiracy advocate, but I have this on, how shall I say this? Reliable sources. All right, Merrill, back to the Atlanta Braves. Do they have any real chance of going to the World Series? Really? Over under? 50-50? 40-60? 60-40?
I say they do not, because they have a 2-person experience. Even Fried is not that experienced, but he's been fairly good this year. But they only have Fried and Charlie Morton. They don't have the starting pitching to make it through to make it through the buzzsaw of the playoffs, in my opinion. They have great hitting. They have a great lineup. They won't lose because of a failure to score, but they might get outscored.
Max Fried is a very good pitcher. He is not an elite starter. Charlie Morton is a very good pitcher. He is not an elite starter. I'm talking about Kershaw, Scherzer, Urias, and Walker Buehler. They're just in a different category. That's just where I'm going. I say the chances of Atlanta going to the World Series are 30-70. 70% chance they can't do it.
I agree.
What do you say, Eddie?
I hate Atlanta ever since they beat the Pirates back in '92.
Oh, you're still pissed off about who is that guy that was with the Pirates who moved over?
Bream.
Sid Bream.
Sid Bream.
Huh?
I had tickets to Game 5 of the World Series that year in Pittsburgh. Which
do you know that? That was one of the most famous sliding into home plate events in World Series lore.
So, okay, Merrill, you're ruling Atlanta out?
No, I'm not giving them odds of 0 to 100, 0 to 100. I'm saying I think it's very unlikely. I don't think they have enough pitching.
All right, so outside of the Dodgers, who has the best chance to go to the World Series?
Milwaukee Brewers.
I am in 100% agreement with you because the Brewers can roll out Woodruff and Corbin Burns.
Well, they have a third. Who is the third starter who's been pitching effectively?
Freddie Peralta, who had a little
Right, and isn't there a guy named Hulk who's been pitching really well?
no Adrian Hauser, but he's average. He's average.
Okay.
But you are not wrong. He's been pitching well. I'm talking Freddie Peralta. They can roll out Woodruff, Burns, and Peralta, and they only have the best closer in baseball. No one else is close, in my opinion, including Melanson. Josh Hader can blow you away.
Right.
Definitely can. I picked him up this year.
You did? Right. And they have Devin Williams, who also can blow you away in setup. I'm absolute violent agreement with you that Milwaukee, my choice is, I don't mean to disrespect the Giants, and I guess I am, and I admire what they've done. Right now, I'd give Gabe Kapler Manager of the Year because Gabe Kapler is working on a $100 million payroll, and Davey Roberts is working on a $285 million payroll, and Gabe Kapler is taking them to the mat. I will tell you, I don't believe the Giants can survive a 5-game series with the Dodgers. I don't believe the Giants can survive a 5-game series with the Milwaukee Brewers. That's just me.
Okay.
Milwaukee's definitely going to be tough.
Do what?
Milwaukee will definitely be tough.
The Dodgers, Eddie, probably have a little better hitting upside. By the way, they have benched Cody Bellinger to play Gavin Lux. I love it. I'm all in on this. Cody Bellinger, you're going to sit your butt on the bench. You're going to watch. He's been horrible. Horrible. So Gavin Lux, doesn't he have 6 hits in his last 8 or 10 at bats?
He has hit since he came up from Oklahoma City.
Okay, trivia. I have a trivia, okay? Ready?
All right.
Okay, so what team do you think has the best relievers, the bullpen, for according to WAR? Which team has
That's
the
a
best
good question. Let me think about that, Andrea. I'm going.
Okay, and think of it for starting rotation too. Okay, this is for the
starting rotation. It's the Dodgers by far.
It's not.
Come out of here. You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding. That's why I think it's a great trivia. So, come up like while you're talking or whatever. Think of.
Well, the reason the people who would currently rate team starting rotations, the reason they're not rated best is they're pitching 2 of every 5 games with a bullpen game. But when everybody is healthy, I can't imagine obtaining Scherzer and having Kershaw come back healthy and having Trevor Bauer not in the 6th he's in,
I'm just telling
and having Bueller and Urias.
That's not her question. She's gonna. Let's answer the question.
Not who's the best pitching staff, but who has the best WAR on the season?
Okay, are you talking bullpen now or starters?
Well, I wanted to do both, but the starting rotation is one trivia, and the bullpen is the other trivia. I first started the question with who's the best bullpen in baseball according to WAR, but I'd like to do that also for the rotations too.
But which do you want to do first?
Either one, I don't care. I just think definitely the starting pitching is an interesting find because, of course, you automatically think of the Dodgers immediately, but it's not the Dodgers. They actually come in second. So,
are you talking? Is your context all of baseball or just the National League?
All for the season.
All of baseball. I'm going to pick Houston for bullpen.
Not even in the top 10. Oh,
Okay.
no, this is for the starters. Let me look at the relievers real quick. Houston's not in the top 10 for starters. That's kind of surprising. Who did you say for
For the bullpen, I'll tell you who it is not. It is not the
who did he
Dodgers.
say for bullpen?
It's not the Dodgers.
I said Houston.
Houston. Houston is 17th overall.
They don't
for the
have
bullpen.
they don't have a separate spreadsheet for bullpen wars.
Yeah, this one, the bullpen, they're 17th in relief pitching.
Okay.
Houston.
Okay.
Number one might be the Brewers.
Number one for starting pitching is the Brewers.
That's right. That's what I've been saying. They're right.
Yes, that's right. So,
Corbin and Woodruff and Peralta have been terrific all summer long.
Yes, they have.
And they're not in a media market. They're not in a media market like New York, Boston, LA, Chicago, and they
Los
don't
Angeles.
noticed. They have an excellent. I'm not really surprised to hear that. That's why I'm thinking the Brewers and the Dodgers in the National League, I think, have the best odds of going to the World Series. That's my view.
you can't, well, they can't both go.
No, I'm saying one of those two teams, Andrea.
Okay. Which
I'm-
team?
Can we go back to the bullpen? Can I take a second shot at the bullpen?
Of course, I would love it.
I'm going to say for the bullpen, the Tampa Bay Rays.
You got it. Guess who's second in the league?
You got to be kidding me. You know who the closer is? Every day is a different closer.
Right. Who do you think is number 2 in baseball for the bullpens on the season?
Brewers.
Who?
No, it's not the Brewers.
It's not Milwaukee.
Dude, they won starting pitching. What do you expect? They can't win both.
Hey, why not?
I don't know.
Okay.
Who's number 2 in bullpen?
Okay, Andrea, would it be
Seattle
the
Mariners? The Seattle Mariners, dude.
Really?
Really?
Yes. Okay, go about your business. I'll just
Yeah,
chime in.
Kevin Quackenbush.
I don't know what the hell, dude. It's
Quackenbush came here for a cup of coffee.
What do you mean? Just on the team? Came onto your team?
Came to Washington. He got an espresso. He lasted about the time it takes to drink an espresso if it's cold.
Okay.
So, Andrea,
Yes.
who is your pick from the National League to go to the World Series?
I'm rooting for San Francisco.
Not who you're rooting for. Who do you think? I halfway agree with you. They are the dream team. They are the magic formula. They are the magic elixir. I can't put out enough positive things about them. I don't think they can beat Los Angeles in a 5 or 7 game playoff. I don't.
Well, I don't blame
You got
you.
Logan Webb and Gosman. After you go past Gosman and Webb, who do you have?
Oh, I love their pitching. I would put them up to the Dodgers starting pitching. I really would.
Funny.
If Gausman is healthy, dude, I will put him up. I will put Logan Webb, Gausman, and their rotation is good, even though they're not stars like, Walker Buehler and Max Scherzer. But I do think, look, man, the San Francisco Giants have momentum like nobody's business.
You're right. You're right. There is something about chemistry. This is the great unquantifiable element. We all know that it happens. It happened with the Nationals. The Nationals in 2019 were the oldest team in baseball. By no metric should they have won the World Series.
Yeah.
None, except for one thing. They had the greatest chemistry and team atmosphere and morale. It was a beautiful thing to see. So you may be onto something.
Another team that had that quality finished the 1988 season with under 90 wins. I think their record was 88 wins and 74 losses. They had hardly anybody. They had Oral Hershiser and Kirk Gibson. That was the 1988 Dodgers.
And San Francisco reminds me of them.
They do.
All right, can we move to the American League?
Moving right along.
In the American League, Andrea's caught my attention. I didn't think Tampa Bay's pitching. They don't have a single if we tiered our pitchers into 4 tiers of 15 pitchers each, I don't think Tampa has a pitcher in the top 2 tiers. Would you agree with that, Andrea?
Are we talking about rotation?
We're talking about starters. If you group the starters into 4 tiers, 1 to 15, 16 to 30, and so on.
There's
I
not a
don't-
starting. No, not even close.
They do not have a starting pitcher in the top 4 tiers.
Well, that's why I don't think that you should be able to count out teams like who's the one that you were counting out? Atlanta. You were saying that Atlanta
Yeah.
doesn't have a lot of star power in their rotation.
They do have great hitting.
Right. Does the Rays not have? Do they not have great hitting?
They do.
They have Nelly Cruz now. He could be a big deal, right?
I agree. Okay, so who
Anyway.
wins? All right.
Yes, the Tampa Bay Rays is really interesting. The bullpen is excellent, and they've pitched the most inning of any team, and they have they're an oddball, and they're just doing what other teams aren't doing, and it's really working for them, and it has been for years. Okay, I'll be quiet now.
Eddie, who wins the 2 American League wild cards?
The 2 American League wild cards. I think the Rays will win one if they
They're
don't.
going to win the division title. They're ahead by 7 games, Eddie.
9.
You never know.
Okay, all right, that's fair enough. Okay, who's your second one?
Oh,
Seattle.
nah.
I
I know.
hope you're right, Andrea.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I hope you're right. I do hope you're right.
Well, shoot, I can't believe they're still holding on.
My boy Ty France is still going strong. What a great baseball player.
Andrea, that's a great observation. And it advances a theory that I have that Mitch alluded to about market exposure and brand exposure, depending upon where one team or another plays. The Seattle Mariners don't get the love that they likely deserve because they're buried out there in the great Northwest, and the dominance of the press corps and the social media and everything about the press establishment is an east and central with this side of the Mississippi River. And a lot of people don't know about Seattle, and very few fans, even people like us who talk about baseball. I'm telling you, I don't know that I could identify anybody, particularly in the bullpen of Seattle. I can identify a starter, Flexen, because I have him on one of my teams. But Seattle is an underloved. Listen, in baseball, as apparently in life, distance does not make the heart grow fonder.
That's true.
Okay, so Andrea,
Yeah.
Merrill,
I'll be right back.
go ahead, Ed. Go ahead, Eddie.
Okay, I gotta leave for a second.
No problem.
That's
My
fine.
daughter's trying to get some answers out of me.
That's fine. Merrill, who wins the 2 wild cards in the American League?
In the American League, I've got Seattle.
Oh.
Andrea, I think you're onto something, and I believe the Boston Red Sox. Because Boston actually, after that fall they took, if you look carefully at the standings, they have done some climbing. The Yankees did have a walk-off win today, thanks to the catcher, Gary Sanchez, but the Yankees still have that spotty starting pitching, and they pitched a kid named Gill today, who put them down 5-0. I was stunned to hear today when the Yankees came back and won 6-5 that it is the first time this season the Yankees have come from 4 runs behind to win a game. That's not the 1927 Yankees.
They've been horrible lately, though. They just won.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here again, Andrea, pitching.
Yeah, but their pitching has been such a surprisingly good thing this year because you have got. I mean, Tyon is unbelievable.
He's out now. He's out.
Well, I'm just where they got they got to where they are because of the good, decent pitching. But their pitching obviously has been a wreck all season. Where's Luis Severino? He's never coming back, or what?
Yeah.
Luis
I
Severino.
think you can write him off.
Luis Severino. Hernan. Who's the other guy, Mitch, who was a good prospect? His first name is Hernan. I can't think of his last name.
Herman.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Herman.
Hernan. Andrea, the problem with the Yankees, I see, is the problem, for example, in terms of starting rotation with the Atlanta Braves. Garrett Cole cannot be expected to carry the team in the postseason when we're not certain. Nobody can be certain that who's the left-hander? The guy who is the theoretical second Buana in the rotation. You know his name, Mitchell. The Yankees, the left-hander. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah, Jordan. You can't be certain that Jordan Montgomery.
He's got an ERA approaching 5.0.
That's what I'm saying. You've got Garrett Cole. That's great.
Well, is
But
Kluber coming back?
Garrett Cole, what have you got?
Taillon had a good streak, and now
He's out.
But
he's
what
regressing a bit.
you have a bullpen with a lot of guys that can go a couple of innings with them, right? They have a good deep bullpen, don't they?
The Yankees?
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
Not as
Except
good.
for one.
Not as good as the last couple of years.
In total,
They lost.
in the culture of postseason, the major league establishment, in the culture of the postseason environment, the major league establishment does not cotton to the quote unquote bullpen pitch game. It's a different environment.
The Yankees have lost Zach Britton, and don't think for a minute that doesn't hurt. Because
That's
that
right.
guy was an all-star closer and a top-tier reliever, and he's just had surgery, so he's gone. So
Right.
you've got Loaisaga, who I think is on the injured list. I've not seen Loaisaga.
He is.
Chapman is spotty.
He's been horrible lately, dude.
Well, listen, Andrea, you live in New York. Can you tell me who? I thought I was up on everything. They brought in a guy today that I found who came in today and pitched a very strong 8th and 9th inning, and it turns out he has been pitching fairly well. Named Holmes. Who is that?
To be honest, I do not know. I would have to.
It's a Yankee relief pitcher, and he saved the game.
Just because I live.
I don't know.
Just because I live on Long Island doesn't mean I know the bullpen of the Yankees.
I'll tell you, I have
Why
two.
not?
I should. I really should.
Andrea, I have two nieces, and Merrill does, who live in Northport and Huntington.
Oh,
They have not been in New York City in 20 years.
so, well,
People on Long Island don't go to New York City. They hate New York City. Huh?
There's no reason to go to New York City. That both the ballparks are not in the city.
That's true. Well, no,
City
Queens
Village-
is the city and Bronx is the city.
It's not in Manhattan, though.
No, but
They're
it's
talking about New York.
they're boroughs of New York. They are the city.
So where do they live? They're you know that
They live in Huntington.
East Northport.
You know, I guess what I've been really, I haven't lived here my whole life, but what I consider the city is the island of Manhattan, which is
pretty much everybody does. But Brooklyn is a city.
Yeah,
you know?
it's definitely part of the.
There's five boroughs of New York.
Correct.
They're all part of New York City.
So you're saying that your niece has not been to Brooklyn?
They have not been to any of the five boroughs in New York in years.
Well, they have to go through them to get places, but seriously, they've never stopped their car. Where they live in Huntington and Northport? Well, Northport is close to it, isn't it?
Northport's wonderful, and so is Huntington. They've got everything they need on the island.
Huntington is one of the nicest places on Long Island for restaurants.
Huntington is wonderful.
Yeah,
Anyway,
right on the
I
water.
digress.
Yes, of
Who
course.
is going to go to the World Series? Then we're going to move on to the next topic because Eddie wants to talk about Rookie of the Year. Eddie, we're coming to you.
Good.
Who is
Brewers?
okay? Who is going to go to the World Series for the American League? Start with Andy.
Oh, the White Sox.
All right, I have a vote for the White Sox. Merrill?
Tampa Bay again.
Eddie?
The White Sox. I love their pitching and their bullpen.
I think I'm going to go with
Good hitting.
I think I'm going to go with Eddie and Andrea because as much as I love Tampa Bay, they do not have a top 20 starter. And Chicago I know Giolito's been spotty.
Wait, yeah. Can
Huh?
I want to go again too. I want to say
Are we eliminating Houston too early now?
no.
Why not?
Because I'm actually I really think that the Blue Jays have a chance to get really I think that they could beat Tampa.
I think the Blue Jays are right in the wild card race right now.
And they have their players that haven't been playing all year. They're healthy or because of that probably, or maybe not. George Springer's a big deal for me. I think that the team is a lot better off with him.
Let me tell you who has stunk for the Toronto.
Who?
I have him in my money league, and that's Ryu. Every other game, he's getting blown away.
I know he is. I have him
every
on
other start.
What's wrong with him?
He's tired. There's something wrong with him.
He pitched a full season last year.
He pitched great. Yeah, Andy. He pitched a great game in Yankee Stadium when I expected him to get pounded. He goes to Baltimore and gets his ripped up by the Baltimore Orioles. Those people with 40 wins.
The Baltimore Orioles are so creepy like that, though, because they can beat teams that you would not think that there's pitchers out there that have the worst record. Their worst opponent is Baltimore. There's more than one, too. It's crazy. I don't know. Right. Go on.
Merrill, who do you say goes to the World Series in the American League?
I've still got Tampa Bay. I've got a Dodger Tampa Bay repeat. If you recall, Tampa Bay took the Dodgers, I believe, to 6 games last year.
And if they hadn't pulled Blake Snell out of the game, they would have gone.
If Cash had not taken Blake Snell out of the game, who the Dodgers were not touching, he was untouchable. I understand the issue with pitch counts. I understand Snell had a reputation for being a guy you couldn't send out for a third run through another team's lineup, but they competed in the World Series last year, and their starting pitching, they did have Snell last year, and they don't this year. But their starting pitching wasn't really strong in terms of rotation discussions then, and look how far they went.
Okay, so I'm going to throw my vote in with Ed and Andrea with the White Sox because they can roll out Dylan Cease, Giolito, Lynn, an experienced playoff. They can roll out. Dylan Cease has been great in the second half. Giolito's been spotty. Keiko is useless as tits in a borak. Pardon my profanity.
Oh no, but Rodon can play the role.
Not Rodon. Okay, they can roll out Rodon.
Actually, Rodon can play the role for the White Sox. Who's the left-hander? Corbin played for the Dodgers in the series against Houston.
Urias.
No, well, Urias played that role too. But I'm saying Rodon can also emulate the role, the role that Corbin was used in relief in that World Series.
Corbin wasn't in the World Series. What are you talking about?
In 2019.
Oh, 2019. You're talking about Patrick Corbin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not Corbin Burns.
Oh, okay. All right, Rookie of the Year. Ed, who are you voting for?
National League or American?
American League.
I have to go with Mountcastle. Anybody that could hit 28 home runs and tie Cal Ripken's rookie record for the Orioles deserves it.
Yeah, he came in just under the number of plate appearances, Ed. You were right. He came in just.
Randy
Arena is eligible for Rookie of the Year. Here are the candidates. Arena,
Yes, definitely.
Luis Garcia, pitcher, Houston Astros.
Yes,
Andrew Vaughn, first baseman, outfielder, White Sox.
yes.
Ian Anderson, starting pitcher, Atlanta. Lamont Wade Jr., University of Maryland, Terrapin. Shane McClanahan, who has been arguably the best and most productive and consistent starter for Tampa. Jonathan India, who's been nothing. This is both leagues, Ed. Jonathan India, Alec Manoah, and Wander Franco. I don't think Franco should be on the list. He hasn't been up long enough.
Can I tell you the most dead cinch rookie of the year, in my opinion, for the National League?
Have at it.
The aforementioned Jonathan India, who has played so well with Cincinnati that management moved him up to the leadoff spot about a week before the All-Star game. He has 18 or 20 home runs. He's played his position soundly. He's been a clutch hitter for the team, and he's batting in the high 280s.
Andrea, who do you say for the American?
For the American, I was going to totally agree with Merrill about Jonathan India. He's excellent in all aspects. He does a lot of things right. He takes walks. He's just been really good. So for
He's in the National, isn't he?
I know, but
Yeah.
that's who I had on my mind because that's who we were talking
Okay.
about. So I mean, I do think that Mountcastle deserves some love for sure. He's horrible defensively, or I don't know if he's horrible, but he's not very good. And I don't know. I just I don't think he has great plate discipline, but I definitely think that he deserves some love for the Rookie of the Year because of his stats alone.
Who else in the American League is in the
Rosarina can be one, I think.
Well, Rosarina's American League, and a Rosarina.
Baltimore when he plays them.
Do what?
Randy kills Baltimore when he plays them.
Yeah,
Good.
they thought he was a flash in the pan, and I did as well. But he's had a respectable, not a spectacular, but he's had a respectable year this year. But I'm kind of with Eddie in a way. I'm stuck on Mountcastle's nearly 30 home runs.
How about Adelise Garcia, who
I was going to mention him.
I would have said Garcia, but he's fallen off the wagon, since the All-Star break, he's done nothing.
I agree. I had to drop him in a league.
That's the problem.
I would have tossed Nick Madrigal into the equation, but he got injured, got traded from Kansas City to the White Sox, but his season ended about June or something.
Well, he was traded from the White Sox to the Cubs.
I don't think Mountcastle is
that right?
bad
He's with the Cubs.
Okay.
He's better than a Rosarina, dude, for defense. Mountcastle. A Rosarina is just as bad.
Rosarina is better on defense than Mountcastle.
No, I don't think he is. I think that he's not great. I think Mountcastle is better than a Rosarina. I'm not positive of this, but they're both not good, not great. Either way, a Rosarina is. I feel like he's. I don't know why, but I feel like both him and Mountcastle aren't really rookies in my mind. They don't feel like rookies.
But they qualify.
I know they do.
I checked this out today, Andy.
I know they qualify, but
Mountcastle had fewer than 150 at bats last year. And
Right.
Ed cited the other criterion. It was very sophisticated today. It's something about 45 days. You cannot be. Let's say that, Eddie. The other one is no. It's 45 days before the start of the season. You can't be on the roster. I think that's what you said.
you said they have to. Well, they have to be up a certain number of days, or they have to have at least 150 at bats. I think that's really the criteria right there. 150 at bats.
I remember looking it up.
140 actually.
Okay, 140. So, and last year, it's easy for them not to get there because there's only 60 games, even though we feel like
Right.
Okay, this is Randy Arozarina's numbers.
Okay.
He scored 87 runs, so that means the man's going to go over 100 runs scored. The last time I looked, runs scored is one of your 10 5x5 categories. Okay?
Yes.
He has 19 home runs, 63 runs batted in. He's got 13 stolen bases, and he's hitting 274. So
For fantasy, he could be the rookie of the year for sure. But what about the fact that they don't care? I mean, they care about runs in regular baseball, but they don't. That's not what they choose it on.
so really the question is they're not running fantasy rookie of the year. They're running they're running rookie of the year. And Mountcastle, to compare them, Mountcastle has 28 home runs, 79 runs batted in, 68 runs scored. So Arena's got a big edge on him and a run scored, but they don't care about that. He's got 28 home runs, 79 runs batted in, and he's hitting 264. Arena's hitting about the same thing. So I am with Eddie on this. I think I vote for Mountcastle. I do. And then in the National League, how you can take it away from Jonathan India is beyond me. I don't know how you do that. The Jonathan India and Andrea, I did not listen to you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting old, but my memory isn't completely shot. You were all over India in April. I remember this.
I liked him from the
And I didn't believe you. Okay, I didn't believe you.
Well, you should. If normally I say I don't ever trust rookies. Normally, that's what I say.
A rookie is a rookie, and I have the same feeling. Jonathan India has 20 home runs, 64 runs batted in. He scored 85 runs. That's awesome. He's going to score 100 runs. Awesome.
Dude,
And he's 9 stolen bases. He's going to give you 9 or 10 bags.
Yeah.
And he's hitting 273. He's not only a strong candidate, a rookie of the year. I'd put him in the MVP discussion. That's how good he's been. He has been terrific.
If Cincinnati could make the playoffs, which they might make the playoffs. There's a good chance they do. So
can we delete Alek Manoah from consideration? I don't think he's done that much.
Well, I like him. I
like him.
I haven't checked.
It's not that I don't like him.
I know. I'm sorry. I haven't checked his numbers. I'll have to look.
Let's talk about Luis Garcia. What do you think about Luis Garcia?
Is he a rookie?
He is.
Oh my goodness. I really like him too from early in the season.
He's been outstanding. Do we have a bias against pitchers for rookie of the year?
I guess we might.
Yes.
I think we do.
Yes. Just like we do for most valuable player, by the way.
Yeah, because
they do get the Cy Young, so I don't know. I just feel like, man, Luis Garcia has been excellent. Total comes out of nowhere. I really like him. I hope that he stays quiet though, so he cannot win the Rookie of the Year, or I will not get him on my team next year.
Say that again.
I said Luis Garcia, if he wins Rookie of the Year, he's going to be well known. Everybody's going to know to draft him, and I won't get to pay fewer dollars. So I'm kind of hoping that he doesn't even get nominated for Rookie of the Year. I'd like to keep him quiet.
He's ranked now as a 28th ranked starting pitcher. His numbers for this year are 10 wins, 7 losses. He's thrown 139 innings. How many strikeouts does he have on 139 innings?
Who?
156.
How many?
156.
Well, to kiss my grits. You're wrong.
Wait, Luis. Oh, is that a guess? It's 158, actually.
158, and Merrill said 156.
That's great.
He amazes me. He pulls this stuff out of his bunghole. I don't know how he comes up with this stuff. That is amazing. At any rate.
It's because I don't have a life, so I spend all my time reading this stuff.
You can spend your time in many worse endeavors than baseball, sir.
He's
That'll
got.
be fun.
There's
His
one other rookie that has more strikeouts than Luis Garcia.
who?
I'm telling you, it's in the American League. So get your guess on.
You got to make this. This is Mitch's guess.
Okay.
There's another rookie more strikeouts.
One rookie.
Yeah, hit it.
Yeah, he has more strikeouts than Luis Garcia. Only one.
It's not Dylan Cease because he's not a rookie.
No. Can you believe that they're on Detroit?
Hold on. Time
Terry
out. Casey Mize.
No, it's Scooble.
Scoble.
The Arab.
Tarek Scooble. He's big velocity and lots of strikeouts.
That's awesome. Let me
Bet you
continue.
didn't get Cease's name right, with all due respect.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's his middle name.
What's his name?
Dylan Cease and Desist.
Okay.
Okay.
I got
So let me continue on my Luis Garcia bandwagon.
Do it.
His ERA is 3.43. His WHIP is a sterling 1.14. He's had an awesome season.
And
Ed, the issue is, I think there is some inherent bias against pitchers for Rookie of the Year, and I can't prove it, and I shouldn't say it, but that's never stopped me before. So in the National League,
Mitch, can I interject something?
you can.
I want to throw this to Andy because I think it's such a good trivia question and so germane to the subject we're on, which is why pitchers never get named Rookie of the Year or MVP. Tell me which pitcher, National League, which pitcher was named both Rookie of the Year and Most Valuable Player
in the same year. Oh my goodness.
in the same year.
Fernando Valenzuela.
Eddie, you hit a home
Good
run.
job, Eddie. Good job. I never would have got it.
Good job.
You can't
Thank
top Eddie.
Send me a prize.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get you a corn dog at the next ball game. Huh?
Eddie, tell me what year it was.
Oh.
Is there any corn dogs at Nats Park?
Yes.
They have them?
Yes. 1980.
1980.
But in an absolute abomination and travesty, Ben's Chili Bowl no longer sells chili, only chili dogs.
Get out of here.
Joking. That's a joke, right? That's a joke.
No, that's true. Ben's Chili. That's one of the kiosks at Nats Stadium. There was good chili. Ben's Chili Bowl doesn't sell chili now.
Explain to me, do they come like pre-packaged or this is atrocity what's going on? They should be able to give you a cup of chili.
I worked in food service for 30 years. It comes in a 5-pound bag frozen. You get it out of the bag and you put it and you re-thermalize it.
Right, but so does it already come like on the dog in the portion that?
No. It's an assembly operation. Most of your restaurants don't cook anything.
Why can't they give you
assemble things that come into them in 5-pound frozen bags?
Okay, my question would be, I totally agree with you. Working in the restaurant business my whole life, mostly.
Okay.
I just wonder. So when you walk up there and they make you a chili dog, do they scoop the chili out of a pot and put it on the chili dog?
Yes.
Like, so why can't they do
that? It's an assembly operation.
So why won't they give you a freaking cup of chili?
I have no idea. Merrill, isn't that true? Didn't I try to go and get chili and they said only chili dogs, no chili.
It is.
I just think that's so
it is true, but I'll tell you what I also believe, Mitch. I don't believe that particular part of the franchise regimen applies to its basic restaurant down on the area of Washington, the Columbia Road area. I think they make it there, but I don't think they make it at remote locations. I think there's a separation there.
Have
All
you
right,
been to
here's-
Cincinnati ballpark at have you been there to
I've been to every ballpark except the new Globe Life.
Well, you know they have two chilies fighting against
The
each other.
Cincinnati chili is spaghetti with chili on top of it.
One of the chilies has nutmeg in it.
What?
There's two kinds of chilies in Cincinnati that they're always like competing against each other. There's Skyline chili and one other chili.
Well,
I can't remember.
I can tell you this as a longtime member of the International Chili Society.
I bet you make great chili, dude.
I do. I went up to Snowshoe in West Virginia on the mountaintop. I made a chili and I wanted to differentiate my product from my competitors. So I put a couple of tablespoons of vindaloo in it.
Of what?
Vindaloo is an Indian spice. That chili was knock your head off, go crazy, beat up your neighbor, and take a bowl away from your neighbor. It was that good.
It's not fennel. It's not.
And the judges said you put cinnamon. I said I did not put cinnamon.
Does it taste
And
like
you're
cinnamon?
not fit to be a judge if you don't know the difference between cinnamon and vindaloo.
Spell it. V or F?
Do what?
Spell the words. I want to know what herb it is.
Vindaloo is Vindaloo.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite spices.
Okay.
I think that was the middle name of my first wife.
I've never. Okay.
So at any rate, Lamont Wade Jr. Let me get through these rookies. 277 at bats. Let me say something. I'm not on a political platform for Lamont Wade Jr. His numbers will not impress you. But I've watched the Giants this year almost as much as I've watched the Dodgers. This guy has contributed significantly to the Giants' success. 277 at bats, 17 home runs, 47 runs batted in, 6 stolen bases, 260 batting average. He pales in comparison to Jonathan India. To me, he's the runaway winner of the National League Rookie of the Year. American League, Eddie, Mountcastle, I think, all things considered, Mountcastle. I think what will hurt Mountcastle is the perception that he played so much in 2020, which he did, but he's still eligible. He's about 5 plate appearances from not being eligible, but he is technically eligible. And I think I would vote for Ryan Mount. You know the Orioles, Austin Hayes is going to be a good one. I still think Santander has a bunch of upside. You've got Cedric Mullins, who could make an MVP argument for Cedric Mullins. The Orioles are not
No
that.
pitching.
What's that?
Absolutely no pitching.
Right?
They got
That's the problem.
Eddie. Angelos has got to open his wallet and sign a couple of mid-tier $10 to $12 million starters this winter. And he won't do it because he's a cheapskate. That guy's a cheapskate.
Yes.
Huh?
May I help you on this? Angelos is basically owner of the team and president of the team emeritus, but his sons run the team.
Well, they're not.
I'm sure they talk to Peter Angelos about major issues involving the team, but the day-to-day operations are run by John Angelos, and I can't quite remember the name of the other son, but his 2 sons are running the team.
Maybe Louis Angelos. I don't know.
It might be.
All right, we're going to close out our session tonight. This has been fun. Thank all of you for being here. We're going to go
Sorry, I
through.
got late.
What's the matter? We're not quitting.
No, I understand that. I just entered late today. All the problems I had.
You're fine. We waited
Did
for
you have a
you pretty
problem
much.
with your microphone, or what was the problem?
Yeah, it was the microphone, and then it was the video, and I don't know what else.
We don't have to go back and find out why the cow didn't give milk this morning.
Hey, here's my question. We're going to go through team by team and do this as expeditiously as possible. We're going to start with Andrea. My question is, for each of the following teams, can you name the three most important players on that team hitting or pitching from today, September 13th, to the end of the season and to the postseason that you think are critical to the success of the team going forward the rest of the year, starting with the Tampa Bay Rays?
Okay, the Tampa Bay Rays is going to be Nelly Cruz.
Good one. Good one.
Also, I think that it's important for who's going to be the best.
Say that.
I'm thinking in my head what you have to give me a second.
I need two more from Tampa.
Okay, I'm going to say Nelson Cruz, Brandon Lau, and Austin Meadows. Those are the three.
All right, I'll buy that. Okay, we're only now talking about division winners and wild card contenders. We're not talking about, the Kansas City Royals who are moving up. I like them. Merrill, number 2. Boston Red Sox.
Boston Red Sox, I've got the third baseman, Devers. I've got a couple of surprises here. Wally, I have as a pitcher because somebody's got to come out. The man has seemed to have had some particular mojo in postseason situations. And my third is who I consider the quiet hero of the Red Sox and the most improved player possibly, or one of the most in baseball, Hunter Renfroe.
Oh,
He's been great. I like that. I would have picked Sale over Eovaldi, but I'm not me.
Well, Sale is out with the COVID protocol now. I don't know what's going on with him.
he'll be back.
The man just started pitching again, and he's got COVID. Or
Eddie.
has been
He's fully
exposed.
vaccinated. His whole
Eddie.
family got COVID.
Yes.
Who are the most 3 important players to the New York Yankees going forward the rest of the year?
The New York Yankees.
Garrett Cole.
Oh, not your turn, Andrea.
I stole it from you.
Okay. You can
Just
do it
kidding.
since I was slow.
I don't know. So like my question would be, well, he's thinking is I don't know if there's a difference between these two, but for me, I tend to lean towards who do they need the most going forward? But your question might not be the same. It's who will be the best going forward. I think, is that the same two questions or not?
No, my question was
and Carlos Stanton, and I'd go with Cole as the pitcher, definitely.
All right, so you got Garrett Cole, Stanton, and who's the third one?
Aaron Judge.
All right. Okay, I get that. Stanton, Judge, or Chris, I get that. These are all good. It's all good. Nobody's wrong. Okay, so I'm going to take. We don't have anybody else in the Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh.
All right, my 3 most important players for the Blue Jays are Robbie Ray,
Definitely.
Springer, and Vladdy. Springer is a deal breaker if he's going full.
Mitchell, were you in the chat room today when Lenny asked the trivia about do the Blue Jays have a better record with Springer in the lineup or without Springer in the lineup?
I missed that somehow, but that's a good question. What's the answer?
Well, I am a huge with you. I believe that George Springer is a big deal, but they actually they do not have a winning record with Springer
Really?
active. They actually have a better record without Springer, but it's only by a tiny bit, and that's just I'm telling you, that's just a fluke to me. That doesn't
wow.
mean, yeah.
Okay, let's keep moving along because we're running out of time. American League Central, who are the most 3 important? We're back to Andrea. Chicago White Sox.
Lance Lynn is the number 1 most important on the White Sox, and then you got, I would say, Eloy and well, all right. Of course, I want to say Giolito, but he's out right now. So what am I going to do? Take Rodon? I guess Rodon is pretty important.
What about Abreu?
Abreu's, yes. Okay, I'll switch. Yes, I like Abreu, Eloy, and Lance Lynn. That's the three.
Eloy's been right quiet lately, hasn't he?
He's just I just think he's important to the team.
I agree with you. I'm not arguing with you, but he's been right quiet. I haven't heard spook out of him lately.
Let me check him out while you guys discuss the
Okay.
rest.
Check
Well,
him out.
going to a point you both have made, as has Ed, they have so much talent that a really talented player can hide in the lineup for a week and be okay.
He's
Lewis,
hitting horrible.
Lewis Roberts only hitting 344.
Right.
Right. Why do we say Eloy over Luis Robert when Eloy is batting like, okay, the last 2 weeks, Eloy's hitting 188 and he hasn't only. Yeah.
I would quarrel with you. I would say Robert is more important right now than Jimenez.
I agree with you.
Merrill, moving to the West, Houston Astros.
The Houston Astros. I have Bregman, who is one of their best, very best.
I'll buy that.
He had a hardship in the series against the Nationals, particularly in the field. But he is one of the very best clutch performers on that team. I would say Jordan or Alvarez.
Yeah.
And I would go with, even though he has scuffled a bit in the second half this year and is showing his age and his velocity is down, I go with Zach Greinke on however well he does may be tied directly to however well the team
I
does.
actually like this Greinke because of experience as player.
Yes.
I actually would not quarrel with that. Although there are at least three Houston starters who have pitched better than him. But I would not quarrel with you. We're talking about the clutch end of the season and the postseason, and Greinke is top dog.
Cite you Exhibit A, Game 7, 2019. Washington is at Houston. And A.J. Hinch, whom I believe to be an excellent tactical manager, watches Zach Greinke, who's given up 1 run and 2 hits in 6 innings, comes out of the 7th inning. Anthony Rendon hits a leadoff home run. He walks Juan Soto, and Hinch hooks him. And I believe it possibly cost Houston the World Series because I have a feeling Greinke was going to bring that fifth dimension. But I believe Greinke had the capability and the experience to recover from the bad start to the 7th inning and get them out. And if he had retired the people batting after Soto, if he had retired them and gone on to the 8th inning, I think he would have beaten.
Yeah, Howie Kendrick doesn't hit a 2-run home run off him.
But he hit it off Will Harris. I don't think he hits it off Greinke.
Okay, Eddie, real quick, Oakland Athletics. You want time to think about that? I'll go on to the Seattle Mariners. I'll come back.
Yeah, let's go to Seattle.
Let me give Eddie. I'm playing Jeopardy here. Let me go to Seattle. Okay, with Seattle, I say the starter Marco Gonzalez. Nobody ever hears of and he never gets any respect. I say the outfielder Mitch Haniger. And I say Kyle Seager, who has been nothing great, even with his .220 batting average. And we do not have time to do the National League, but we're going to do the National League next week if everybody agrees, because this is a fun topic. I really do like this because it does cause you to think, and you'll see how this thing plays out. I actually like the people that you've chosen. There were a lot of surprises. Merrill surprised me with Greinke, who has not been stellar, but because of his postseason experience, I can't really quibble with that too much. But I think the Houston Astros are not your 2019 or 2020 Houston Astros. And I can't tell you why. Andy, what's wrong with them? They don't seem, there's something, I don't know what it is. Something's missing.
There's a lot missing. I mean, I maybe we should, I don't know.
Can we save enough?
Can I answer about Oakland now?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go with Matt Olson.
Okay.
Starling Marte.
You're a great one. Great one, Eddie.
And a very big surprise. Nobody else will pick him. Josh Harrison. I loved him when he played. for the
Harrison's an underrated player. That's a good pick, Ed.
It ticked me off when Washington traded him. I understand what the Nats had to do, but Josh Harrison is one of the most. He is a poor man's Howie Kendrick.
He can lead off, steal bases.
Can I make a suggestion before the clock eats us up? Can we acknowledge people who are in the chat room?
Of
Please
course,
do.
do it. Should I do it?
Who's in the chat room?
Andrea can do it.
Yeah, I'll do it. I mean, I can, sure. Well, we had Malpal in here a little while ago. Lenny's here. George is back. Nice to see you, George. We had Big Al on the prowl here. A couple people coming and going, but for now, it's pretty empty right now.
That's okay. It's all
George just
good.
disappeared as soon as I say his name because he's shy.
Empty in spirit, but not empty of heart.
Right.
All right, girl. I will meet you down in the man cave for a virtual
Wait.
FDR.
Merrill, are you at Mitchell's house again?
No.
Nope, I'm in my palatial apartment in suburban Washington.
Okay, so you guys meet in the man cave still?
Yeah, we'll go to the man cave and have a cigar and a drink.
I just love
Andrea,
it.
have you noticed the artwork that is behind where I'm standing? These are all, some of these are my historical my White House.
Merrill traveled.
I did, yeah, I did notice those before.
Merrill traveled all over the world with George Herbert Walker Bush.
Okay, great. So wait a minute.
This picture here is Bill Clinton walking away from an East Room news conference during the Monica Lewinsky saga. The picture next to it is, it's not the most current now because it was before Trump got elected, with the 5 living presidents, and there's a couple of Richard Nixon pictures up there. I have a lot of these.
Let me see. Okay, so I do see some. I was actually I knew that they were somewhere in the DC area with people of political power, but I didn't really look too close at them. I think it's quite interesting that you're there with a bunch of people on the right, and your brother is usually rooting for the guy on the left.
Hey, Merrill, turn your camera so she can see your picture of you at the Associated Press. Isn't that you at your desk at the bureau? That's it. That's where. That's.
Oh,
Merrill.
I love it. So you worked at the AP?
Most of my career, and that picture was taken the week that I retired.
Great. Okay.
Who's that? Yeah, that's you in the office in the Associated Press.
In the Washington Bureau, yes.
What did you do there? Were you?
Oh, my goodness. If I told you what I did there, we'd have to extend the show. I had a number of jobs, and I was in both management. I covered 4 presidents. I did some broadcasts there. I was a news editor, a managing editor. I was assistant chief of bureau for a couple of years.
That's impressive. Yes.
The media has changed a lot. I'll just say that.
For the words.
Yes.
For the words.
But you guys, okay, I'm going to head out because I got to make a phone call before my mother goes to bed and tell her to wish me a happy birthday right now. And
Yes, I forgot it was your birthday.
No. I shouldn't have said anything, dude. I shouldn't have said anything. Believe me.
I'm glad you did. I forgot. I completely forgot.
And God bless you and your mama.
Love it. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Okay, we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you, Ed. Okay, we'll see you next time.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.